Today I would like to talk about the 5 tools that I've used over my last 40 years of collecting custom knives. These have all seemed to help me. The first one is the internet, which consists of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Everybody's familiar with those. As a matter of fact, you're probably watching me on one of those right now. Instagram provides basically a snapshot of the knife and or the maker, whereas Facebook also provides you a photo of the knife but can give you some additional information. A better avenue to gain even more information is if the maker has a website. On the website, they will generally have additional photos of the knife you're interested in, possibly similar knives with different options so you know what the maker can and can't do. And then they usually have additional knives that they make, so you can go to their site and see their body of work. What I started using, and this is Knives 86. This came out in 1985. This was my guide. This was my Bible when I first started collecting knives. And what's interesting about this is that as you can see, all the photos in here are all black and white. And I'm mentioning this for a reason because I'm going to show you a newer one and you'll see the contrast. But this was basically a picture. It had some articles, but it also was a picture book of what the makers were doing, what knives were hot, and then it had a directory of the makers' names and addresses and phone numbers in the back, which back in 1985, that's how you found these people. Kind of like using a phone book. I know some of you don't know what that is, but this is how you found the people. But this is the book that I used to start getting very serious about my custom knife collection that ultimately led me to become a custom knife dealer. So this is the latest that came out last year. The knife annual is Knives 2024. As you can see, this is 36 years later, and I'm still using this. The difference in this particular one, as opposed to the first one I show you, is I'm now writing for the knife annual. However, but look inside at the photos that you get now. Just 4 color photos, beautiful, and it talks about all different types of knives, trends, styles, makers, handle material, everything you could want. The only thing it doesn't have anymore is the directory in the back, but Blade publishes that in one of their magazines, generally in the spring. So you can still get all that information if you need it. But most of these people you can find on the internet using your Google Fu. Next up is Blade Magazine. I've been a subscriber to Blade Magazine for 40 years. And it's always been, while it covers factory and vintage, it also covers a lot of custom knives, and it was basically one of the few places you could go to get somewhat current information, although there is some lead time on it. But it was one of the first magazines I actually saw that did biographies of the makers. It talked about trends that you should pay attention to, both in handle materials and styles of knives, etc. Talked about the market cycles, which is important for collectors to understand. And again, one of the differences between the original Blade that I got 40 years ago and this one is that I'm now a field editor for Blade Magazine, writing on some of those topics I just talked about. The internet is an excellent place to get information, but don't disregard print media. This is also an excellent source for information that can help you with your collection. And finally, the Custom Knife Buying Guide. As you can see, it says V3 on here. That's version 3. So I've updated this book 3 times. I wrote this book as the only custom knife buying guide ever printed or written. And to this day, it's still the only one. 76 pages. There's no pictures in it. But what it is it's chock full of information to help you determine what to look for in custom knives, trends, maker's position in the market, how different handle materials affect pricing, aftermarket information, etc. It's $15. You can get this from Robertson's Custom Color. You can go to our website and order it or follow the link below. And it includes free shipping. I know I wrote it, but I'm a big fan of this. I wish I would have had one of these when I first started collecting custom knives. So to summarize, what you want to do is you want to utilize as many tools as possible to provide you with as much information as you can get to help you make a decision on which knife is best for you and your collection.